This is part 5, Red Chart Identification of Order Flows and Order Blocks. In part 4, I covered the same, however using simple diagrammatic representation. That's why if you have not yet watched part 4, I will recommend you to go back, watch part 4 before we continue. So without further ado, let's dive in. If you have been following up with the video course, I want to believe that by now you know that once price is forming, valid pullbacks the upside and then reverses, takes out at least one pullback low before it reverses again, breaking past this swing point. This one here is a valid break of structure into the upside. And so the same applies, however, the opposite in a bearish scenario. Price is forming valid pullbacks into the downside and then price reverses, takes at least one, or maybe it can go further, taking at least the second one, and then coming back and breaks past this swing point. Then this one here is a confirmed valid break of structure. Alright, and the next step after identifying your trading range is obviously marking the inducement. And we can clearly see that this one here is the recently formed valid pullback in that range. And so before we try ourselves marking the order flows and the order blocks, we need to wait for a break past the inducement. So let me run price and see what price does. And right here, price exactly right here, we can clearly see a sweep past the recently formed valid pullback. So right now, let me mark the order flows, or right now it's the right moment to mark the order flows. And like I said on the previous part, order flow is primary and order block is secondary. So meaning not until all order flows are mitigated or invalid, we cannot use the order blocks. So the first option or the primary option is marking the order flows. Obviously, we know that we mark the order flows starting from the extreme. And right here, I can clearly see that this here is the order flow. Exactly right here. The reason as to why I'm using this is because this one here is not a valid pullback. And yeah, exactly right there, that's the extreme order flow. And the next order flow is the one that comes before the inducement. And we say that any order flow, any order block, or any POI coming before the inducement is a smart money trap, and we usually automatically ignore that. So right here, I can clearly see that price has mitigated our zone exactly here, and I'll be anticipating for price to reverse back. And by the way, I say that once the inducement is taken out, this one here is a confirmed swing point, and if price reverses back and breaks past this one here, then this one here is a confirmed valid break of structure. So now let me continue mapping price. Alright, so now the order flow failed, and we'll be anticipating the next reversal from the order block, because we say that not until all order flows have failed, we cannot use the order block. But now the order flow that was on the range has failed. So the only option that we'll be using to take the reversal from is obviously the secondary option, and that is the order block. So right now, I'll be anticipating another reversal from the order block. And if price fails the order block, then now this means that price would have changed bias from being bearish to now bullish. Right, so let me continue running price. Alright, and exactly right here, price is giving. Alright, and price failed the order block and broke past the trading range high. And this break of structure to the upside is what we call the change of character, signifying that we are no longer in a downtrend, but now shifted bias from being bearish to now being bullish. So this means then our trading range is ranging from this low and currently ending at this high. So now let's identify the inducement, because that's the first step before you mark the order flows or the order blocks. So let me run price and see what price does. Alright, and exactly right here, we can clearly see, alright, let me rewind here. And we can clearly see that the recently formed valid pullback in our trading range is this one here, or this one here is the inducement right here. This one here is the inducement, because that's the recently formed valid pullback after the break of structure. I mean, the inducement is not the pullback, but the liquidity resting below this recently formed valid pullback low. And this one here is the inducement, because that's the recently formed valid pullback low after the break of structure. So right now, let's see, because we don't mark the order flows or the order block without the break past this recently formed valid pullback, or without the right. Right here, the inducement is taken out, and right after that, that's when we mark the order blocks. I mean the order flows, because the order flows is the primary option. All right, right now, if I mark from this, all right, this here is not a valid pullback, and the valid pullback is this one here. So that's the valid pullback. And by the way, I say that we start from the extreme of the trading range or the impulsive move. And another thing that I have not yet mentioned is that when you see that price has broke or price has taken out the inducement, this one here is a confirmed swing point. And if price now reverses and breaks past this, then this one here is a confirmed valid break of structure. So that's something also to keep in mind. Exactly right there. All right, so right here I have marked the order flow on the extreme, but you can clearly see that price reversed back, mitigating this order flow, and we can clearly see this mitigation is by a valid pullback. I mean, this mitigation is by a valid pullback because this here is a valid pullback, and we said that if the mitigation is by a valid pullback, then the order flow is mitigated and hence invalid. And so if the extreme is mitigated, we usually shift to the next. And right here, we can clearly see that this next one is not mitigated, hence valid. And since it's the one that is unmitigated on the extreme, then that's the extreme order flow. So right now, let's see if we can spot the decisional order flow. The next order flow is this one here. And we can clearly see that it's mitigated. And we said the one that comes before the inducement, we usually don't mark this because this one here is an automatically invalid or smart money trap, or we usually call that a smart money trap. So this means that we only have one order flow and there is no any decisional order flow. All right, and where is the extreme order block? Right here. This one here is the extreme order block. Even though the order flow associated with it is mitigated or it's invalid, the order block is still unmitigated and hence valid. And by the way, on the next part, I'll be showcasing the criteria on how to identify a valid order block. So, worry less. The extreme order flow is this one here, and so not until the extreme order flow fails, we cannot use the order block. Alright, and by the way, this one here is not the extreme. Right here, we can clearly see another pullback right here. So this one here is the extreme order flow. Yeah, sure. Alright, so let me run price. And right here, price is heading towards our right, and price has mitigated our order flow. And right here, price is heading towards the external liquidity. And exactly right here, price breaks past our previous swing point right there. So this means that we are currently in a new trading range, with this one here being the low of that trading range. This means that this order block is no more valid because we are currently in a new trading range. Right, so into our new trading range. So first we need to mark the inducement. So let me play out price. And exactly right here, where is our inducement? Our inducement is this one here. That's our inducement. So let me continue running price. Maybe price will create another. All right. Right here, price sweeps the inducement, and this here is the perfect moment to mark the order flows. All right. So into our extreme of the trading range here, we can clearly see that this one here is the pullback, and this extreme order flow is mitigated right here by this valid pullback. Right here, it's mitigated by that valid pullback. So on to the next, you can clearly see this one here is the next, and this next one is mitigated, however, by an invalid pullback right here. This one here is mitigated, however, by an invalid pullback. This mitigation is by an invalid pullback. This means that this order flow of this extreme order flow is still valid. All right, on to our next order flow. So this one is the extreme order flow because the mitigation is by an invalid pullback. All right, on to the next. This one here is the next order flow that is unmitigated, and you can clearly see that's unmitigated. And the one that comes before the inducement is this one. We say that's an automatically invalid order flow. All right, so right here, the inducement is taken out, and we said once you see that, this one here is a confirmed valid swing point, and this means this here is our trading range high, exactly like this. So right now, price has mitigated the decisional order flow, and all right, so let me run price and see what price eventually plays out. All right, and exactly right here, price goes even deeper into the decisional order flow, and let's see if price eventually, all right, price is heading towards, and exactly right here, price breaks past our swing point. So this signifies that we are currently in a new trading range, with this one here being our trading range low, this one here being our trading range low, and right here, that our trading range low and our trading range high right there. So let me continue running price so that I can identify the inducement. And exactly right here, this one here is the recently formed valid pullback. So meaning this one here, or that liquidity resting below that low, is the one that we called the inducement. And we say that before tiring ourselves marking the order blocks and the order flows, we need a break past the inducement. All right, so let me continue marking price. Right here, price creates another pullback. And so, since the inducement is the recently formed valid pullback low, I mean because we are currently in an uptrend, the inducement is actually the liquidity resting below that recently formed valid pullback. And this one here was the recently formed at the moment, but then price created a new one. And so we'll be shifting into the recent. And so, let me continue running price. Exactly right here, price eventually breaks past or eventually takes out the inducement. So this means that this high right here, this high right here is a confirmed swing point, and if price now reverses and breaks past this, then that's a confirmed valid break of structure. All right, so let me make it straight. All right, now after price has taken out the inducement, that's when now we mark our order flows. So right here, where is our order flow? All right, this one here is not a valid pullback. As you can see, this one here is not a valid pullback. So meaning now our trading range, I mean our order flow will start from this high all the way right here, and we can clearly see it's mitigated even twice, the first mitigation and the second mitigation. And we say the order flow that comes before the inducement is automatically invalid. All right, so this means that we will now be going into the secondary option, which is the order blocks. And right here, this one here is the order block in that range, exactly right there. So if price mitigates our order block, then I'm anticipating a reversal from there. And exactly right here, price has mitigated our order block. So let's see if there'll be a reversal. Right, exactly right there. Price has made that, meaning now we are currently in a new trading range with this one here being our low. Let me continue mapping price so that we can identify the inducement. And exactly right here, where is the inducement? This one here is the recently formed valid pullback, and so the liquidity resting below here is what we call the inducement. All right, so let me continue running price. All right, and price creates another one right here. So I'll be shifting to the next one. And exactly right here, price takes out that inducement. This means this one here is our confirmed swing point. And so if price breaks past this swing point, then this one here is a valid break of structure. So right now, after price has taken out our inducement, that's when now we start mapping the order flows. So into our trading range extreme, you can clearly see that this one here is the order flow, like the extreme order flow, but it's mitigated twice exactly here. We can clearly see the first mitigation and we can see another mitigation. So we'll be shifting to the next order flow because the extreme is mitigated. And exactly right here, this one is the next and it's not mitigated. So that's our extreme order flow. And where is our decisional order flow? Let's see if our trading range has a decisional order flow. And right here, this one here is the decisional order flow, because that's the order flow that comes right, or that comes immediately after the inducement is taken out. And exactly right here, we can see price didn't even respected that decisional order flow, and price is currently heading towards the extreme order flow. And so this is where I'll be anticipating the reversal from. All right, so and exactly right here, price has mitigated the extreme order flow, and I'm now anticipating that price will continue until breaking past the external liquidity. Yeah, right here, price ended up breaking past our previous swing point high, and this means that we are currently in a new trading range, with this one here being our trading range low. All right guys, so I hope you've gotten the rhythm, and if you made it this far, I know you enjoyed the video, so drop a like and see you in the next part.